What's up, y'all? The floor is yours. It's here for another Sunday show. All these beautiful faces. Hey, y'all.
What
Hey.
it do, Miss Cookie? What up, team?
Yes. So, as always, y'all, tune in. Y'all know we finna talk about sharing, so gonna do that ish now. Get it on out there. Gerard, drop the intro.
They the Royce New Podcast, who want the smoke? Coming raw and uncut like who want this dope? Whatever you want, they for sure to cover the topic. From racial issues to fashion flies to cockpit. Y'all ain't never get it like this, cause they ain't never did it like this. We on our this the way the cookie crumbles for y'all. She gon' bring the inspiration to all. You know what's up with her. And this shit manifesting is a vision. And y'all gon' love TJ cause he the realest. From the heart of a mob, they the start of it all. You looking for a holler and holler at Gerard. The professor, nothing lesson coming at you with the lessons. Get your edge if you knowin' what's good for you. They educated, but they still keep it hood for you. Won't need another, this one here really do it for you.
Baby, you would give love for each other. Yeah, baby, I made love for each other. Baby, come down to love for each other. Let me show you how to love for each other. 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 Love for each other.
Yeah.
Yes. You better sing, Debbie J. Don't worry about what kind of faces James making. You better sing your heart out. Yes. All right, y'all. So again, welcome everybody to the show today. I'm so glad to be here with the crew. I'm so glad for y'all that's out there listening and tuned in. I see that y'all already talking to us over here. Jamil said, what's the call-in number? Gotta call in. We got some good evenings. So, hey, we here for all of that, y'all. Don't forget, like the show. Don't like it, love it. Do the extra time that it takes to hold the like and then scroll up and go over to the heart. Love the show. Yes. And make sure that you share it. Make sure that you are subscribed and tune into us on all platforms, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff. Okay. Connect to us in all ways possible. And so we're here for our April show. Is this our first April show? I feel like this is our first April show.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So we got, we have some awareness month stuff going on. So we want to talk about that. First off, it is Autism Awareness Month. And so I was just kind of looking and doing a little bit of research and just seeing how much more prevalent it is now. And I don't think that it's necessarily more prevalent. I think the diagnosis is more prevalent because back in the day, think about when you had that uncle that was different and they was like, that's Uncle Johnny. Just, y'all know he a little touched. And they left it at that, or made light of it or whatever. And so I think that now we learn more. So you learn more, you do better. And so I think early detection is a key to a lot of things. So when you're finding those signs and those symptoms in kiddos early, getting them into therapy and things like that, occupational therapy, speech therapy, physical therapy, things that they may need helps them better later on. And so when I danced with my son, that was for Temple Memorial that does all these type of therapies. So I definitely think that is needed. As I was looking, it said like 1 in 44 people are diagnosed with autism now in the US. So it's like prevalent. You know somebody or know somebody that knows somebody that's been affected by it. And it's not just that person, it's the family as well. So give back where you can, learn about it, be encouraging in the places that you can, and just tap into it, learn some more, and get a little bit further. Speaking of kids, it's also Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month. So this month we typically wear blue in my line of work just to kind of talk to people and encourage them to look out for the signs of child abuse, because knowing the signs is like early detection again. This is how we can prevent it, because we know we got babies being killed, we got
Yeah.
babies being hurt, we got babies being sexually assaulted. So we want to, stop that. We want to get rid of that. And so knowing the signs is definitely helpful. And then sexual assault awareness month as well. So this month, those victims of sexual assault, we want to help them, tap into them. We have an event coming up here in Texarkana, the Know Your Worth conference, that is kind of talking about different, it's not so much sexual assault, but domestic violence. But we know a lot of times those go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So just being aware of those things, online sexual assault is a big thing now. And a lot of times we got these keyboard thugs that's out here posting pictures and stuff like that. So you can never figure out who did it, but support those victims that have been victims in those aspects. So let's just tap in where we can, be helpful to the victims. We are praying with you, be resilient in those things, and we want to support. So that was my opening. Debbie J, I'm gonna throw it your way.
Man, listen, like Miss Cookie said, we need y'all to go love, like, share, subscribe, all platforms, LinkedIn. We got what we in LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Listen, go meet us on all platforms because, like I said last time, we got some big things coming up for you. Some big news, big news. So once we get that all ironed out and everything, of course, we're going to pass y'all the information because we're trying to put on some great stuff for you all. So definitely go and do that. As she was saying, all the awareness in this month. Hey, it's also one thing you forgot, Miss Cookie. One celebration was my birthday. Hey, all the Aries chime in. Your girl is a year older. I'm 38 now, so I'm blessed to see another year. But
Happy birthday.
oh, thank you, sir. I'm accepting gifts and money all month long. Uh, but no, let's jump into this show. As y'all know, this show, the last couple of shows, has been very passionate and having some controversial topics on it. So hey, we want to engage y'all the best way possible. So everybody likes a little drama sometimes. We're gonna sprinkle a little something here and there. So we definitely want y'all to chime in to everything that we got going on for you and these topics that's going to bring about some very passionate conversations. So we want y'all to chime in. Go ahead and hit us up in the comments where you're watching from. We want to know where you are, what issues you got going on in your town. Let's discuss it. Let's talk about it. So, hey, let's go ahead and jump into this discussion because you know it is a good one if you ask me because the thrill is gone, babe. James, let me see what you got. Hit that note one time. Just hit the
I can't hit
note.
it like that, but you did good though. I was shocked. I was pleasantly surprised to come from somebody who just turned 38. You know, a little
Hey.
youngster, a little youngster. I was surprised. And you know, I mean that's probably the only lyric of the song you know, but we'll take it. We'll take it.
Check and slow.
Yeah, that is, buddy.
Oh, Debbie J, come on now.
I know the other old blues, you know, my last $2, you know, one for the jukebox, one for the bus fare. You know, I
I'm
got
convinced you can't clean up good if you don't know the blues. You ain't get up to blues and bleach on Saturday morning. I don't trust you too right.
I got housekeeper that come. I'm blessed that way. My housekeeper come once a week. Shout out to you, Miss Jackie. So let's hop on this discussion real quick. The thrill is gone. Now what? James, let's go ahead and lead us into that discussion.
All right, the thrill is gone. What are we talking about? We're talking about the loss of intimacy in relationships. That's what we're talking about. You're in a relationship. You love that person. You like that person. You're in a committed relationship. You married, whatever the case may be. You know, it might have started off hot and heavy in the beginning, but now things have gotten monotonous and mundane in my TI voice. You know, I use them words on y'all, monotonous and mundane. But my point is, like, you know, at some point, the spice, the lust, the desire for the physical, the sex is declining. Let's just call it what it is. So what we want to know is, and what we want to talk about is the why. Now I'm gonna tell you honestly, like we're gonna talk about the whys because we want to get to solutions, and we want input from not only the panel, but we definitely want input from our audience and our viewers. We want to know what you guys think, so definitely chime in. We probably have some phone calls later on too. Gerard will put the number up later, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So we want to first start identifying what are some of the things that cause intimacy and relationships to go down. Now, and then we want to talk about, how to fix it. Now, how to fix it? I don't know, but I do know that understanding the why is the first step to coming up with a solution to fix the problem, right? You got to know the problem to fix the problem. So let's start there. I'm gonna start here. I think that a thing that can cause the intimacy in a relationship to go down, or one of the things, is resentment. Like, let's say there was a past situation that took place in a relationship, but you guys moved past it, or you agreed to work it out, and you worked it out, or you continue to go on because you love that person, you're still with them. But I think that sometimes a lack of intimacy, can be caused because deep down inside you still have some sort of resentment to that person because of whatever the situation is. So I'm gonna kick it over to someone who hasn't said anything yet, which is Miss IC. I want you to dive into that. What you think?
First of all, what is intimacy? How do we view intimacy?
Well, we're talking about the physical, emotional connection, attachment, and we're talking about sex right now.
So sex to me is an intimacy. Until you get sex can be just sex. That doesn't mean just because we lay down that we intimate. That we lay down because, and I'm gonna just get real. Some people get married just so that they can have legal sex. So that don't mean they into each other. That just gives them a leeway just to say, hey, we can do this legally without having people, say bad things about us. And we didn't do it the Christian way. But intimacy for me is more so coming from a perspective on all levels, and that it leads us to be able to lay down together and to be one in the bed. So there's a lot that goes with it. That's my intimacy part. Somebody else's may be different, but for me, it's the total. It's across the board, because in order for me to be intimate, I feel like if you just physically attracted to me, but spiritually and mentally and emotionally we don't line up, that doesn't make my body want to jump in bed with you. It actually just pushes me further away.
So what you're saying in a sense is that a cause of a lack, like if we're specifically talking about people who have a loss of interest, or people who have who lose a physical, when we're talking about physical intimacy, you feel that lack of physical intimacy can be initiated by a lack of emotional intimacy. Is that what you're saying?
For me, yeah. I mean, and that's what I see a lot of. I mean, you can give everybody you can give sex all day long, but some people do look at intimacy as if sometimes we feel obligated, even when we're hurt, and even you're in a marriage, you'll go ahead and sleep with your husband because you feel like you're obligated to him. And you may have problems, but those unresolved problems don't get resolved, and then you just think that we just supposed to lay down and that's supposed to be okay. Yeah. I mean, no, it doesn't work like that.
I see what you're saying. So the thrill ain't just intimacy; it's part of it. To James' point,
right?
But the thrill, to what I see is talking about, it can be the overall desire, fun, passion that's supposed to be part of the relationship. So to James' point, why?
Okay. So, but let's get back to this. So if we're talking about, I agree with everything that you just said. But if we are specifically talking about the physical aspect, we're talking about the physical things that can make someone become physically unattracted or physically uninterested in their partner. And I'm saying that one of those things could potentially be resentment from past issues that you were supposed to forgive, or you that you two have said that you have gotten over, but deep down inside, you still have a resentment towards that person because of that issue. I'm saying that I think that that is one of the things that can cause the lack of the physical aspect of intimacy. And
Well,
that's
yeah,
what I'm talking
I'll agree
about.
with that. I'll agree with that if there is something that you once again it's still unresolved issues, and so
I
what you
agree.
do you hold it against that person, and so then you don't give sex anymore. You don't want to touch hands. So it does. So that means we have a problem. So we have unresolved problems that have not been taken care of, which now rolls over into us being where the thrill is really gone when we could probably get it back if one chooses to release and allow that person to go. We can go forward together. So if there is no unforgiveness and you really don't really mean it, then therefore you're putting, I guess I'll just call it a thorn.
Okay. Now
in the
Clyde just said in true forgiveness, resentment dies. God bless. So let me ask you this, Deb. If the issue is resentment causing a physical disconnect, what do you think and let's say you guys have talked about the issue to exhaustion, you both have, supposed to be over it, but deep down inside, like every time you try to get physical, you think about that issue and then you still have that resentment. What do you think is a possible solution for that problem? Dad, what you think?
The thing in the process of all that talking, y'all need to have to come up with a solution that you actually put into action. Because we can talk about it all day, but till something is actually put into action, and your words is just hot air in the room. Till you actually start coming with a solution, you have to have a solution to every problem, or it's going to continue to be a problem. That's in anything in life or anything within a relationship, anywhere. Till there's a true solution, and that solution is acted upon and adjusted as time moved on, you're going to continue to have the same problem. So yes, for the resentment to cause you not to want to be physical anymore, that means the true work haven't been done between you two or between that one person, because probably the person that caused the resentment is over it, because it's easier for them to get over it faster than the person that was, of course, having to deal with it. You just have to find that balance and that equal common ground where you say, yes, I truly do forgive you. What we finna do about it, and to change how I feel about you, because sometimes just going through the motions don't work. A lot of people like to go through the motions and like, I'm gonna eventually grow to love you again, and this, that, and the other. It doesn't work like that until you actually have a game plan that both of you all need to act upon.
Yeah.
So,
And I
watch it, James. My thing is now there's a good question over there. And then also it depends on the resentment, because when I look at what this statement just said, she said it sounds like you're talking about someone having a baby on their partner. Kind of hard not to be reminded of it every day. So there are different types of resentment that cause people to act a certain way. So even with that one, you may resent it and still want to stay, but like she said, you're gonna be looking at that other child which is not by you, but by somebody else that you choose, but still there's a choice to stay there. And that's the thing that we get. If you're going to be resented about that situation or the things that's going on with that, then that means either I'm going to go and go on with my life, or I'm going to stay and we just got to work through it. But don't stay trying to work through it and then have resentment and then hold back, because that's not fair.
And wait.
I think what you just said to me is the real answer. Because if we're trying to come up with solutions, I think that that's the real solution right there. We can't, because like you said, you can, like, for example, if somebody's issue was commitment and they were upset because somebody didn't commit to them, but now that person has taken that step and they have committed and they're doing all the things and they're showing all the things and blah 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 blah. So they, you talked about it, you discussed it, you resolved it, but the person is still upset that maybe the person didn't commit to them as soon as they wanted to. And so it's like, you can't, it's like there's certain things that no matter what you say or do, you can't go back and change the past. And I think when we're talking about resentment, we are talking about past actions. And I always like to say, you can't continue to weaponize the past. So I think what you just said pretty much hits what's the term, the nail on the head, which is, if you truly over it, you have to admit to it. And if it's something that you truly can't get over, then you need to move around, because it's not fair to the other person. You can't keep weaponizing somebody, a past mistake to somebody.
And I want to say something real quick, and I want Cookie to chime on this. You talk about resentment, a lot of that, and one of the comments talking about how deep the resentment is, and a lot of that depends on what happened to And what IC's point was, I think that's tied to emotional maturity, and not saying that someone is immature in a bad way, but people have to grow and learn how to be mature mates, and part of that, it changes. Deb talked about putting in the work, and actionable items day in and day out. The relationship piece, man, is so deliberate that I think sometimes we just get in them. They're fun in the beginning, and we're ill prepared to handle these challenges that come about. Whether some is as egregious as having a child, you know, on the other mate, or it could be just neglect or a lack of interest in other things that can cause resentment. So I think it's important that you are emotionally mature, understanding what maturity is as well. That way that you can be asset in that relationship and not just a liability. And let Miss Cookie chime in.
And not even just emotionally like mature, just able to communicate, because I
Yeah,
think that's where a lot of us like falter. Is some people are never taught to communicate growing up, and
Mhm.
so now when you get into this situation where this huge thing has happened, be it having a baby on somebody, or some whatever thing happens, now we can't even talk about it. We just got to sit around being pissed off and trying to have makeup sex to make it all right, and that ain't gonna make it all right. So,
Mhm.
like, sometimes you just got to sit down and talk about whatever it is, and then be in a place where if it's not going to work, walk away from it. Like, stop trying to hold on and hang on, because people seem to think it's something so bad about letting stuff go. And some of us have been taught to think that, we got to stay in here, we got to figure this out. Grandma and grandpa was together for 99 years. Grandpa had 42 outside kids, but that's okay. Like, I mean, it's just what we've kind of grown up around. So I think that you just got to be able to talk, and then be able to express what you will and what you won't accept. Like, don't feel pressure to accept something that you truly don't feel inside your heart, just to be there. And then Flex, I saw where you said communication is more than being able to express your thoughts, and it is, and it's a give and take. It ain't one-sided. It ain't sitting down and giving a lecture to the other person. It comes from both places. Felicia said, don't go through it, grow through it. Yes.
And see, one of the things for me is a lot of people get into relationships. Oh, because I love him, I love him, I love him, I love her, I love her. Listen, is a relationship is more than love to me. I have to actually like you. Because there's some people in my life that I love that I absolutely do not like. And I cannot get along with them, but I love them. I love them for the role that they are in my life. I love them for who they are, but I don't like you. And that's the issue too, because love isn't everything. Like a relationship is a business. You got to find that business partner that you're willing to grow with and work with and be with all the time, and to make things happen. So yes, when the thrill is gone, do you actually like me, or do you love I loved you because you made me feel a certain way? But when you actually like someone, it's easier to get over some things a little bit faster. I come to find out the people that I actually like, I can get over things faster with them than the people that I love and don't like. So it's more than it's just love, because when you actually like someone is and you have similar likes, it's easier to keep that thrill going and keep that flair going into the relationship as well.
So Debbie J, I think that speaks to, I think the foundation is wrong sometimes. When that
yeah,
thrill just fizzle out all of a sudden, it's because you jumped into it for the wrong reasons. You seen something and you was like, oh, that look good. And
Yeah.
so it was just, James used the word lust earlier, and it was simply that, a lust. I seen that round booty walking by, and I liked the way it looked. I liked his smile. I liked his
Mhm.
car. So now you done jumped off in bed with him, and it was good for a certain amount of time. But then when those little things start coming out that you didn't like, now
Mhm.
it looks like the thrill died, but all it was a physical thrill. You didn't take that
Yeah.
time to build in those other arenas, then that
yeah.
foundation was not right.
And now you're stuck in a situation ship.
Let's expound on the part that you just said though. You talked about that lust at the beginning, and then what happens later on. Because a lot of times in the beginning of a relationship, everything is fun and exciting, but eventually, sometimes, and this is another reason that I feel that this is another thing that I feel that can cause a lack of physical intimacy in a relationship, and that's boredom. And it's not that anybody is, like resentment. That's a big thing, because like we're talking about somebody did something wrong to someone. But what about when nobody did anything wrong to anybody and you still like each other, but it just gets boring. It becomes routine. Like you can exactly what's gonna happen, how long it's gonna happen, and you know what I'm saying, and like that becomes the issue. So if the issue is boredom, Ms. Cookie, what do you think that someone should do to resolve that issue when boredom is causing a physical detachment?
So for me, if you the one that's bored, change that. Like, why make the other person be like, "Huh, I'm so bored, so I'm gonna go do this thing because I'm bored." Fix that shit. If you want to be in this relationship, put in the work to fix
Yeah.
whatever it is. Like, you're bored. They might not even have picked up on the fact that you're bored. So step out and do something different. Come get you some pole training with Coach Cookie.
Hey, let me add on that too. I'm gonna add on, so because guys tend to look at things a little different than women. We already know that. So I've heard guys talk about that the reason why they step out is because their woman, not that she don't do the things that this other girl do, they don't even want her to, because they look at her in different light and certain things and acts that they
That
might
ain't no
deem.
damn compliment. That is not a compliment.
Yeah, but hear me out.
I
I'm saying
mean,
it's a
but
compliment.
I agree with
What
it.
I'm saying is what
You
I'm
may
saying
not
that
be saying it's a compliment, but it's the
yeah,
truth. But I
Yeah.
agree with you though. I agree with you though. I
it's
agree with you
crazy.
saying.
But I'm just saying what people.
What,
Yeah,
what I'm saying is just to even say that as well, I go do it with this woman because my woman won't do it. Well, then hell, get over there with her.
I'm with you.
Now,
I'm with
I
you.
think what he's saying though is think about the guys that don't want their girl to wear a certain thing, but then you all on Instagram liking these naked girl
We'll
pictures.
get over
Like
there with.
you want to look at
So
it.
it's still an
That's my point.
excuse though. So at the end of the
Yeah,
day, we allow an excuse to be, I mean, and not saying that y'all those type of men, but what I'm saying,
yeah,
even for a man to say that, that's a whole cop out. So,
yeah.
well, baby, I was just doing it because you don't wear it. Well, then okay, I'm finna get a whole new wardrobe. Then look at me. I'm just saying that I don't that type of
Well,
stuff.
I get
We
you.
gonna
I
bust
don't,
you side
I
the
think
head, Misha, for dressing like that.
I think he's saying
baby.
something different though. I think he's saying something different though. I think he's saying
What is
that
he saying?
I feel like how like some guys they want to be like they want to be with a certain type of woman. Maybe they want this virtuous woman, but they want
But you
to
also want a
exploit
freak.
all
It
their.
sounds like you want a freak. So let me help the men out. You all,
Yeah,
this is all you got to do. You want the virtuous woman that's going to be part-time freak and whatever you needed to be. All you got to do is sit down and just talk about it. Because
yeah,
women, I respect
Hey,
that we've given at times, even in dating as single women at times, we give so much to a boyfriend, then we get a husband and we turn into a nun. When really he's the man that should be experiencing every trick trade that we want to do. Now I'm just gonna come a little
hey
different.
James. So
Y'all,
James,
I
see
agree
how
with
confused
you.
and
I'm
say
telling
hold
you
that.
like
on,
this.
let
I'm
I
telling
see.
you
But
like
now
this.
let Misha and I
I
see.
was like, bring Misha out. Bring her
Hey,
to the
hey,
stage.
hey,
All this
I
time that you
agree
think that
with
what
you.
you've
I
given
don't
to
want
just
the.
boy.
Hey, you preaching to the choir, sister, because I don't want the good girl. I
Okay,
like
I'm
that's
just
a
saying. I just want to put
if
that out there because I know people will look at, I see like that sometimes, and I'm gonna keep it real. Yeah, every now and then, come through, tap on the butt while she cooking something. She
Yeah.
ain't gonna be able to tell me praise the Lord, and if she do, then that's a problem. I'm just saying, when I am a minister, inspiration, whatever, when I come home with my man, then I'm his playground, and it's time for us to be together. So he shouldn't have to go out here looking for this way. Then I'm gonna
Yeah,
dress up. If I don't wear it out in public, I can wear it in private with
yeah.
you. These are the
Well,
things that
Misha,
we don't want to talk about, but these are the things that we're not taught.
yeah,
We just taught
I
to
agree
be
with you, Misha. But
educated and sit up real prim and proper and all of these different things. No, honey, okay, I'm just saying.
yeah, Misha, I agree with you. And what I'm saying is, you're saying what mature couples should do. What I'm saying, how some immature men think, where they don't
Okay.
want their
But
woman
that's
even.
stupid. Then he
It's
just need to
very.
go on
I
and
agree.
just be
Yeah.
over there. He need to go with Instagram girlfriends and just have him in his mental concept and don't have a physical woman because that's just crazy.
Hey, and just real quick, I just want to make a comment. So these comments that we see where the name says Facebook user, they're
Uh-huh.
from some of the groups that we're broadcasting to. So if it's a group, it doesn't show the name. So just letting y'all know out there in lane, if you want us to know who your name is, what your name is when you're commenting, put your name in the comment, and then we'll give you props on your comment too. Cool.
And when they
Oh,
say every woman ain't down for that, I mean, elaborate. They not down for what?
huh?
What's this comment right here? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we just saying every woman wasn't down for that. I feel like if you don't have a name, we shouldn't even let you be on the book on the show.
Maybe the person saying that like the freaky stuff or the stuff that he like, every woman not into that kind of stuff.
Well, I didn't say nothing about. Let me clarify that. I didn't say about getting freaky. It's a lot of things. We just been talking. I guess too much everything is just freaky. I don't know. But let me say it like this. Whatever works in your household that makes the relationships and intimacy exciting, that's what I'm talking about. That
Yeah.
means if you want to role play or whatever, honey, I'm talking about let me be Jane, let me just echo for a minute. Hold on. Even if you want to get over here and put this stem in your mouth and put on your little coat and your heels and walk in there for your man and open up and you baby oil down. I'm just talking about what's grown and mature for you and your man. Because somewhere, if you don't communicate these things, then of course, no, the other person doesn't know. And if you're not into that, then your partner ought to know that that's not what you're into. And if
I
he
say
accepts
that was
military
me.
or she accepts military and just plain Jane and that work for you, then hey, kudos. But I'm just saying for those that want excitement and you want to keep it going, because once you're married, the bed is not defiled. That's scripture that we're gonna go there. So when he yours and you his, then we can just do what's comfortable for one another.
make that happen.
And if one doesn't
Hey,
understand,
hey,
let's just
I
talk
agree
about
with
it and
you. I
just
don't,
say, well, babe, I would like for you to touch me this way. That way doesn't really feel good. Sometimes I don't feel connected to you. And that's because sometimes you're with a different woman. And if you've been with somebody that you've never been before and you get married, you don't know really how to touch. You have to figure those things out. And if it lacks somewhere, then just say it, baby. Get his hand, get her hand. I'm just telling you how I done grown up and tried to figure this thing out. I'm just saying.
And don't be offended if somebody tell you they don't like
No.
some or they do like some or whatever
Right.
else. If y'all in that thing together, figure it out together.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dale, can you take this one?
All right, you gotta forgive and forget. Date, and date some more. Be friends. Obviously, the physical attraction has had to been there. Yeah, because that's the first thing you see when you see somebody. That's how you know you want to date them. Oh, they're appealing to my eye. So yeah, let me try to go and talk to this person and see if they got some mental intellect that goes along with their physical sight, and see what we can make happen. So the thing is,
They must have got on late.
I just feel like a lot of people when they're dating, how do y'all feel about dating multiple people? I'm okay with talking to multiple people, but when I actually start going out on dates with you, I feel like I shouldn't be dating or going out on dates with nobody else. That's just me.
Well, I
What do
think
you
that can
I
potentially
would,
cause resentment. What James talked about earlier. I don't know. Some people are different, and
no,
what are you doing while you're dating is a big piece
Uh-huh.
of it. But I
True.
think that potentially that you can kind of tarnish what their relationship could be, depending on what's going on.
I
Well,
agree with you.
now you said the boundaries at the front that you're saying that I am basically, well, take dating out the way. I am exploring the arena of the era of men that are out there. Is that a different way of saying it?
Sure, take it.
Yeah.
I think that more women are what we call committed daters
Okay.
than men. And then I think that when you start talking about commitment, it becomes an issue because like you can like somebody after dating them after 2 weeks, but but if you start talking about commitment, it can be a red flag to some people because like you feel like somebody's moving too fast. But at the same time, if you find out that that person is dating somebody else after you guys done went on 2 dates, you might be upset because like after that first date, you ain't been talking to nobody else, but this person is still exploring their options. So I think that a hindrance can be this mentality of what you're just talking about, Deb, which like I guess I could say I don't necessarily agree with it, which is committed dating. If you're gonna commit, commit. But I don't think that you can push somebody to commit to someone that early in the game, no matter how much you like them or how much you're infatuated at the beginning. I think you got to see.
Okay.
I like this comment over here. I don't know who it is, but it says, I think couples forget to still date, not just go out to eat. That's good.
Exactly.
No,
Because
that's real good.
I was like, Cookie like to eat, y'all. I like to eat. But that ain't all I want to do in life. So it's like, I mean, that's some of the excitement. That's some of the part of it right there. I love when we go out and if we eating and watching a live band play or something more than just let's go eat some grilled chicken and broccoli, then rice, and drink a sweet tea.
I mean, but
Like, I mean, when you fall into that mundane area where you just doing, oh, this is our Thursday. We go out and eat on every other Thursday. Like, you gotta kind of keep some flame to it. So
But
yes,
so
I don't
this
know
is
who
the
it is.
thing. I'm learning that from my daughter and my son-in-law. And when I say dating, they eat at the end of the year, they have a whole album for the end of the year on the excursions and everything that they've done for whatever. Even if they're off, they'll just say, you know what? We found a trail down in Oklahoma, which is an hour away on their off day. And they say, you know what, we going. So it's just, oh, they do that little, you remember that little thing that you did a little paper and you put the all this different stuff on there. You just kind of
oh,
go
you
one,
do
two,
like
three,
that?
four, throw five, and then you open it up. And so some of it may end on the same thing because they like it. So that's what intimacy is to me, and dating and all of these different things. Because I know somebody jumped on and was saying intimacy is more than just physical, and we kind of said it in the beginning. But to watch them really be in tune with one another, and they still date and they make the time, and even if it's dessert or whatever, they don't go to the same spot. It's different. Or they travel to San Francisco just to be able to go for the weekend or a couple of days, taking pictures on different things. You got to take it out of the perimeters of what we're used to, the same cities of the state of Texas or Houston and Little Rock and Dallas and all of those, or down Florida or whatever. We got to learn to just go out and just do it. And I mean, if you how and it ain't really about a lot of money. That's another thing. We capitalize on dating as being, it has to be expensive. I just think dating has to be thoughtful, and you put thought into it on what it could be exciting for both of us.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting it at 48, but you know what? I got it. I'm still living.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like this comment right here. It says create your own normal. So
Right.
that's good. Yeah.
All right. So let's wrap before we move to the next potential why. Let's wrap this one up, and I want Gerard to take this. So Gerard, to sum it up in your own, I'm sorry, Flex, in your own words.
Who is Gerard? I was gonna be straight quiet.
I don't know the guy. I don't know the guy. But Flex, your own words. What is your solution to the issue of boredom being the cause of the lack of physical intimacy? How do you resolve it?
Man, how do you resolve it? So earlier you talked about identifying the issue. A lot of times people are in that situation because they winning it based off total fun. Like, we have fun, we go here, we spend money, whatever. One of these comments said that the honeymoon before the wedding. So it was driven by sexual intimacy or just having fun. So when you get into that situation, now you got to have a real, conversation about yourself. And I'm talking from experience. When I jumped into something, it was straight lust. Now it's like, okay, we're here. What are we going to do? Are we going to do the work that's necessary? And that's what it boils down to, doing the work necessary, having that communication and realizing like, hey, that it was good in the beginning. We spent a lot of money. The sex, if you went there, the sex was amazing. But now we have nothing substantive to base the relationship on. Something's going to come on and you're going to realize that you can't even depend on that guy to do some of the simple stuff around the house if that's how your relationship is set up. This, and not to be sexist, but a lot of men want a woman that can cook. You find out that she can't cook, so all these things that are going on, and you realizing like, dang man, the fun is gone. Now what? So you just got to have that conversation and realize, hey, do we want to continue this? And if you do the work. And if not, here's one other thing. You got to be able to accept a person with who they are right now today. If you're going to be in that relationship and committed, you have to accept them for who they are today and not who you want them to be in the future.
So your answer is to, if you're bored, to have a conversation about it. Cookie's answer was, if you bored, you do something about it. And I think one of our users said, boredom is another word for complacent. Get out of being complacent. Simple solution.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's all those. I'll just give the piece of. I agree with what Cookie said, but it's a number of things that you're gonna have to do. But you're gonna have to figure out: do we want to move forward together? And if you do the work.
So thing, we try to find so many outs in these damn relationships. Darius Warhol off of Love Jones said it best. It's not that you out of love, you exhausted the possibilities. The thing is, if the woman can't cook, okay, She can't cook. What I'm finna do as the man, I'm finna get on YouTube, find some recipes. Hey baby, let's do this together and make it a fun thing. Not, well, shit, she ain't doing. I'm sorry,
No, Dale.
she ain't doing what I want her to do.
But here's the thing
I
about that,
find a
Dale.
way to get out of this.
No, let it go.
No, because
No,
I want to real quick. But the thing about that cooking piece, the bad thing about the cooking piece is different between people who can't and people who refuse to. And I think we got to make sure that we understand what the real issue is. If somebody just saying like, "Hey, I ain't gonna try," and you got to accept it, then I mean, then what? But I think some people that saying that they can't cook really just choose not to.
And it's not even just that. I mean, hell, you should know what kind of person you in before you jump in that relationship. See, and there's conversations going on. When I told y'all got 38 years of knowing me now. So we finna be on this phone an extra goddamn hour or two because you got more of me to learn. You don't know me, so get to know me. You should know in these conversations before we even go on the first date. Can I cook or do I like to cook? Me personally, I don't like to cook, but I will cook. But hell, I sure can order a mean takeout. I tell you that. I tell you what's on the menu before you ain't got to go to the website. I'll let you know what's on there. The thing is, stop exhausting the possibilities. If you don't like something, you fix it. Because before you can fix anybody else, you have to fix yourself. You have to be willing to do the work yourself. One of these books that I had read about being a wife after I got my divorce, it says if you want your husband to change, you got to change first. That's the same thing in these relationships. It's like we're always trying to find it out. When we don't like something, we gotta complain about it to everybody, and nobody's actually putting in the damn work. I'm like, that's why shit ain't working. And I just hate the state of relationships nowadays because everybody's so ready to throw in the towel. I have been told that I've been told that I don't give people chances when I'm dating them. My deal is I know what I can and cannot put up with. I gave this dude a second chance this week. The second chance didn't happen last night, and I cut it off before he can get over here. I just choose not to because I have my reasons. But it's
wait a minute, you saying the opposite of what you just said.
No. Well, it was
maybe you need to elaborate. So what happened?
I mean, yeah, you lost me now. While ago, you talking about these damn possibilities, whatever the thing you said, but then everybody exiting out too fast. You exited out really fast.
Well, now I see that cuss. We done got good now.
Why did you exit? We all want to know what happened.
I'm not in a relationship with this man. So that's why you can't exit. When you're actually dating someone and have truly invested that time with the person, then yes, that's definitely different. We're actually this guy was in first week of getting to know you, and you just had too many red flags of shit that you was doing that just wasn't coinciding with. James, I hate your messy ass. Oh, for one, okay. I asked you to pick the time and date and place and everything like that. You said 8:00 on the dot, be there. I said, by all means, I will. 8:24, I get a text message. All right, I'm on my way, leaving DeSoto now. We're supposed to be in Frisco at 8:00. It's 8:24, and you just now. So this was your second chance. By all means, no, because the first date you stayed on your phone. If I have two phones, and this is how I run my business. If I have enough time to put my phones down and give you a quality time, and you don't use your phone for business, by all means, red flag number one. But I'm gonna tell you about it. I'll let you know. Hey, you seem distant. You was on your phone. I didn't like that. Blah this. Give me a second chance, and then you decide to be late. Oh no, I have a problem with that because now I have spent my time.
Number two.
Huh?
I can't believe you gave him number two. Because even the lack of communication with him being on his phone at the date, he wouldn't have got a number two.
See, but I'm trying to work with a brother.
Well, at that particular point, once again, we be sacrifices too. Exactly. They can be male or female in the relationship, and at that moment, there was the sacrifice again. Because clearly, if we on the date and you're on your phone, but watch this. That's not just in trying to getting to know someone. We'll go into marriages and it's the same thing because at the football games or whatever, and we've accepted it for so long and not said, well, hey, we out eating dinner. Put your phone up. You want to watch the game? We should have went and ate after the game or before the game.
Well, maybe no one has ever set the standard for this person. So I tried to set the standard. So you like, no, I promise you, I'm really into you. This, that, I apologize. It won't happen again. That's why
Okay.
you got to
We
change.
got a call on the line, Debbie. I know we get to talk, but
Oh,
we
let's
begin to
go.
look in the book. I mean, in the corner down there.
Yeah, we got a caller. Stay who you are and where you calling from.
I am Jamel J. Fax Lashley, calling from Houston, Texas. What's going on, y'all?
What's up?
Yes.
Jamel, Jamel, you've been on the call a few times. Remember Misha, he was on the one that we did just a couple weeks ago. The love
Okay,
letter.
got you.
Yeah. What you got,
Hey.
Jamel?
So, given the topic, it's funny because I just talked about this not too long ago on my own podcast, where the thrill is gone, so to speak. I personally don't believe that the thrill just goes. I think people tend to get comfortable in a relationship. There's a lot of ways you can go, right? There's a lot of ways you can go because life in and of itself has issues that it throws at you. You understand what I'm saying? With the men and the women, for example, might go through a period where she's having issues with her body. She's gaining and losing weight. If you have kids or whatever the case may be, her sex drive is off. She's just not quite feeling like herself. You understand what I'm saying? And she's comfortable enough in the relationship to feel like, I can take my hands off. This person loves me for who I am. I don't have to keep up this standard right now. I can relax a little bit. And in most cases, now this happens naturally. It happens naturally. And in most cases, the opposite person gets upset and says, well, you're not holding up the end of the bargain that you agreed that you're going to hold up without taking into account their humanity. You understand what I'm saying? Because things change. You feel me? Things change. You go through things, you gain weight, you lose family members. What's going to happen when life really hits you in the face? You're going to be like, well, the thrill is gone. We don't love each other no more. And walk out the window to walk out the door. That's not how it works. Understand what I'm saying? My 2 cents, love is twofold. It's serendipitous and it's intentional. When serendipity isn't present, step it up and be on purpose about what it is you're doing with this person that you say you're in love with.
Yeah. That's good, man. Anybody want to respond to what Jamel said? That's a big piece of it. Women's bodies change when they go through pregnancies or a number of other things. And y'all want to address that?
It ain't even just bodies. Like life changes in and of itself.
Yeah.
Life happens. You feel me? Like sometimes the relationship takes the back burner based on the way the person prioritizes what's going on in their life at that moment. And people tend to feel discarded when that's not the case. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, one part that he said was when people change, that equals, and I'm gonna tie that into boredom. People tend to change, but the thing is, you're not allowing that person to change. You can a 1-year-old, a 12-month-old, and a 24-month-old is still what 1 years old, or I'm sorry, 23 months old and a 1-year-old is still the same. But their levels of comprehension and growing are totally different at 1 to 23 months. So with that being said, you've been with somebody for months and then you've been with somebody for years. They're definitely going to change. And so you can't say, well, this is not what we agreed to. Well, baby, I have to change and you got to allow me that time to change. So with that, this should be bringing more fun into the relationship. Now that I'm changing, because now I'm out exploring different things and I'm growing. Hey, we shouldn't get bored because we constantly should be revolving and evolving ourselves.
Well, that's true, but watch this. But if you look at most relationships, sometimes that's how relationships end, because when one person begins to change in a new direction, the other person isn't willing to go with the change. Because now we just set ourselves in this bracket of this is just how we started out and this is how it's going to end up. And like it changes. So if it does change, are we willing to change together to still be able to make our relationship go, even in the event that we started out? Some people start out in their 20s together or 18. By the time some of them get to the almost 40 point, either they're going to continue forward together or they walk away and start a different life, because changes have occurred either in growth, body, whatever. Changes make people you're either going to decide to go forward together or you're going to decide to go apart and go your separate ways.
And I hope that everybody is growing at all times, because regardless if you've been together for 1 year, 2 years, or 25 years, you should be doing some sort of growth.
Yeah.
And so I think that's, again, I always tie back into communication. Talk about the things that you want to work on, the areas you want to grow in, and then come up with a plan of that. Like, you can talk about it all day, but you got to put toes to the ground. Let's get with it. Let's get it done. So I think that it's just a matter of being on the same page with it.
And let's just be honest, though, in our culture, we have not taught to do these things, to be honest. Now, as we grow now, we can help our children. But if we go from our age back, we just were not taught, or we didn't see a lot of communication. Now we've seen some dysfunction, and sometimes we didn't see the arguments that we had. So some kids think that, or young adults now, once they're kids, some young adults feel like there wasn't any turbulence in their parents' marriages. And then some of us seen it, and they think we didn't. And so we kind of, take these things moving forward. But we just were not really have been set down to talk about all of these things, or to learn to try to figure it out without feeling like we're dumbing down, because we've been taught that if we do step forward, do a little bit more, then that means we punks, or we, oh, you weak, and all of these different things. So there's a lot of things that we just have to really just get deprogrammed from.
And see, I like what you said. For as a lot of kids didn't see their parents argue, they want to keep it. We gonna go handle this in the bedroom and argue. No, let them see a healthy disagreement. Everything is not an argument. They need to learn how to disagree with each other and still work it out and still be together, and not be so mad and blow up with anger issues. And so, with that being said, too, a lot of us growing up didn't even see healthy relationships, because everybody I knew got divorced. So I didn't see a healthy relationship. Of course, I was trying to break the mold and break that generational curse, but of course, I got caught up in it myself.
So let me tell you this, because I'm glad you said that. There's a song that I heard, and it was called I forget the word. I have to look it up. But it's other words. We are not the tears of our parents, and so many times we have turned into the tears of them, because now we take on what they had going on. So now we operate like them, and we just do everything, or we've seen them do. I don't have to be the tears of them. I can change that. So when we talk about breaking cycles, not doing it that way, the truth of the matter is, we still sometimes keep a little bit of that residue, and we should just say, even if I break it and I do it differently, that means if I break this cycle, I'm doing it differently. But somewhere down the line, we still have that one little bitty nugget that we still do like them. So have we truly just broken it, or we've just gotten a little bit of the residue off of us, but we still got one, and we still just we've held on to. So I'm learning to just realize that those were their issues, and they're no longer to be mine, and I ain't got to do it. And if I go against the grain, I'm not rebelling or whatever, but I choose to do it my way. We've been groomed across the board and so much that we really do need some strong,
yes, I agree. Y'all, we having such a good conversation.
Tell Benita she can call in. I don't think she got the memo, but tell her, Cookie.
Benita, you can call in. I don't know what Gerard did with the phone number. It was on the screen. It said 972 something. That's all I remember.
Yeah, Benita, we waiting on you.
Hold on. You're right. Let's give them a couple minutes. Let me put this back on. And so keep the conversation going.
So what she just said was we're not going to be the same. So I did not break the generational curse of getting a divorce, but I broke the generational curse of how I dealt with my ex afterwards. My parents was running over each other with cars. I'm gonna be honest. No, I'm serious. They was very abusive towards each other. Me, I chose not to go that route with my divorce. So when we got the divorce, this is like my dude. I can call him. He 100 grand. So at least I like what you said about that. I was able to change one aspect of what I had going on that it didn't reflect of what I saw. So
the word was kleptomaniac. That's the name of the song. So if you look up that word kleptomaniac, that's really, really deep.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll probably send you the song, Debbie. I'll send it to you through the inbox or something.
It was two Jameses. And I think that Debbie went, like when you were talking, I saw somebody a while ago that used the word evolve. I think that sometimes we come out with the idea we're gonna break the generational curse, and then we think we can just change everything in life right then.
Yeah.
But if you've grown up a certain way, that takes time. Like if you've been taught one way, you saw one thing your entire life, you've been this way your whole life, you have to slowly evolve into what's gonna happen. So I absolutely think that you might have a little bit of that residual left over sometimes, but keep working on it. Don't let it be because of how I was brought up. This is what I am now. Be better. You know better, do better.
All right, let's read this comment. Miss Marie Baker said, I think people should date long enough and intentional, be honest and transparent enough to understand the person enough to know if you both are capable and willing to accommodate each other's needs. Are you sexually compatible? Are you both great communicators? Are you both willing to be spontaneous? Are you willing? Are you aware of each other's interests? Are you both restricted to bedroom sex only? Or are we willing to explore? Oh, it's so much in that what she's saying, because that goes with that communication. You're definitely right. Being able to be transparent with each other. We're so fake.
I think Marie just basically summed up. She gave like a little synopsis of everything we talked about.
This whole hour.
Yes.
But I disagree with her a little bit though, because I think
James, we can't hear you.
Your sound jacked up.
You got a tornado going on over there.
Yeah, that is you, James, because I just muted it and we can't hear it anymore. So I'm gonna let you work on that, and then we'll bring you back in, brother.
I'll say while he's working on that side of it, Flex, you want to play our commercial?
Yeah, let's do that.
Your success ain't gonna happen overnight. It may take a year, it may take 2 years, it may even take 10 years. For some people, it might take even longer than that. But one thing I do know, as long as you keep fighting and staying consistent, you will make it. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you gonna make it?
Creed. Step in that water, step in that water, step in that water. Yeah. You gotta be willing to go out and get it. You gotta dive in it, go and get it. Step in that water, step in that water, step in that water. Yeah. You got.
Did we get it back on? All right, y'all. So if you are in that DFW area, hit up MC. Like haircuts, he'll get you right. T-shirts, he'll get you right. I'm always plugging, even here in Texarkana. Like no matter where you are, you can jump on, hit him up on his website or on Facebook. Get your T-shirt needs taken care of. Cause I like me an MC shirt with my little hang on.
Right
so
on,
y'all
man.
tap in. Thank you, MC, for your commercial and for being part of the podcast. We just unadopted you. So you get to be part of the crew. James, did you get yourself together? Your life back in order? Because I felt like you was gonna say something very, very splendid.
He was disagreeing.
We can't hear you. You say anything? Hey, Deb, while James coming in, you want to read this comment, Deb?
Transparency is for stable people. Amen. Being transparent before one that is immature only calls for more pain and heartache. Whew.
Yeah, that's real.
That's
real. You know, they say sometimes you can't give people the psychological keys to hurt you. So if you're gonna be transparent, you got to make sure that you can trust people, because not they'll turn around and use that against you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, James, evidently it wasn't meant for you to disagree. I don't know, but we
James, we still can't hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, there you go.
I was just saying earlier that I disagree with the comment that was made by the young lady, because I think that was the whole point of what we were talking about. Because it seemed like if the person was insinuating that you got to get to know somebody and stay with them a lot, and then, you know, all these things can transpire, things can happen, all this magic happens because you're taking the time.
Oh,
James.
Well.
Who over there? It must be the high winds messing with his internet.
Hey.
or something else.
We under the wind advisory.
Yes, because it was pushing me all down 20.
All right. I see. Do we got our little fancy intro now?
Do we?
It's coming. We ain't got it ready yet.
I thought we was in this thing. That's okay. You can get regular old Cookie. I'll come over and talk for you.
Come on, Cookie.
All right. So
you just ain't a regular Cookie. There go James. James is back. James.
Stupid dog, man. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, the high winds done knocked you out.
Again?
Okay, there you go.
I don't know. I think I lost my thunder when my computer died on me.
Yeah.
So long story short version, I think the whole point of the conversation is
when you've been with somebody a long time, and like people change and things change and situations change, and we're trying to come up with solutions to resolve those when you have been with somebody a long time and things start to dwindle down. So I don't think saying that staying with somebody and getting to know them is the solution, because you can be with somebody a long time and know them, but you can have intimacy issues because of how long y'all been together. And that's what we've been talking about. That was it.
That was it.
Yeah. Well, it's time for I see to follow it up with her love note.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, y'all, that's how I'm getting introduced. Okay, well, that was.
I was like, Gerard took it from me, so I just
Go
let
ahead,
him go.
Go ahead, Cookie, go.
Y'all, we done talked.
He not intimate enough to carry through with this thing. Come through, boo.
Yeah, he was real dry, but since he the producer and all, I was gonna let him make it. But anyway, let me come through and get it together. So I see here, y'all. Y'all know she always gets us together with these love notes, and I love them because they just tie together all the things that we've said, and then kind of sum it up with some food for thought. Really, it gives you something to think about for the rest of the week. So it's not just here just to be saying some stuff. Like, take your time, think about it, sit in it. Think about what it is that she gonna give to you. And I do feel like people come along to sprinkle inspiration in your life for reasons, because sometimes it's stuff that might pop up later on down the road and it happened and you think about something that was brought to you on this podcast. That's the whole reason why we're here, is to make it a little bit better than what it was. I have some things that I have pulled and gleaned from all of y'all that something happened. I'd be like, dang, I remember that time when so-and-so said, and it give me just that little nugget that I need. So for real, like, sit back, relax, tap into it. You can still keep talking to us. Still up here in the comments. We still gonna be here. But I see finna love us up. What you got for us, girl? That was better than Gerard, but come on.
Yeah, girl, let me tell you something now. So what I feel like tonight, because we've been groomed and we done been through some things, but look here, it's called white eye, right? This white eye, they say quick dry, and it's called a correction fluid, right? Ooh. So we're gonna white out some stuff, and hopefully it's gonna white out real quick on the night. That we gonna just, we gonna just detach from what we've been taught, what people try to pour into us, and even comparing ourselves to other relationships and bringing old relationships into what we have now. Because sometimes we get in these little stuck places. That's because now we want to do this comparison to other things that we've been with too. We don't think we discussed that, but I'm gonna throw that out there. So when I think about now, we go across the board. I've heard intimacy tonight. I've heard transparency tonight. Basically a little bit of vulnerability off in there. If we can combine all three of them together, I found this quote, and I probably don't even know Taylor Jenkins Reid, but I do like this right here. Intimacy is about truth. When you realize you can tell someone your truth, when you can show yourself to them, and when you stand in front of them and their response is, "You're safe with me," that's intimacy. Because that means no matter what I have to tell you about how I feel about the relationship, it's my truth. And I think so many times when we share our truth, we get in a place of offense instead of trying to comprehend what our mate is saying to us in order for us to now change the trajectory of how the relationship and things are going, whether good or bad. So when we get to those places, I just feel like vulnerability and transparency is the new freedom. And if we can get in that place, we can free ourselves from all of these things that have really bound us in things that we can really move forward together. So what I'll suggest on today, be able to be an open book with yourself first, between you and God, and face yourself and say, hey, some things that I've done along the way in my relationship didn't work, either because I wasn't truthful enough with myself, I wasn't ready to be transparent, or naked before the person before me. And I'm not talking about naked clothes wise, I'm talking from the inside out. Because so many times we can get undressed, but we get undressed physically, but we don't get undressed emotionally, mentally, and all of those different things. And if we begin to get naked in those areas to really see the inner being of ourselves, a man or female, then that's when the true growth and everything begin to take place. And I believe that new seeds are planted when we do that, and we begin to water them differently, and then something springs forward that we do have a different outlook or a different fragrance and love and intimacy to the relationship that we have. And most of all, be friends, because friends really talk about a lot of things. When we get together, when we get to in relationships and marriages, we forget to be friends. We forget to sit down and have conversations. We just kind of now we go to the outside people and we talk to those friends outside. Well, really, they're not helping the situation, because sometimes 9 times out of 10, the people that we talk to, they haven't even been through anything, or if they're going through stuff, they'll listen to our problem. They sure ain't over there talking about what's going on with them and their husband or them and their wives, but they'll listen to ours, and they don't have anything, really to help us with, because sometimes they over there struggling. So just find that place and know that your safe place is the person that you with. Make sure that you put the time and the effort in there, like I said, personally for yourself, and then let it trickle into your relationship, your courtship, and your intimacy, your spirituality. All of those things combined together to do what's necessary to make this thing a forever. It's forever gonna be without bumps and roll in the roads, and sometimes you want to put on the brakes, but find that little to keep the engine going, all the parts that need to change the tires. We'll just talk about it as a car, but like I always use the plant. Find a balance in whatever it is to fertilize that thing, to water that thing, and put the right amount of sunshine. And that means the love and time and effort into whatever you want to make it better. And when you do those things, I promise you it'll get better if you wanted to, because at this particular point, it's a choice. So what is your choice on tonight? And that's it from IC.
Yes. See, that's why we need you just to come through and put it all together so it makes sense to us, so we can get it together. Yes. Love it. Okay, y'all. So we done had a good show. I am so happy that y'all done been on board with us, because, baby, y'all been talking to us tonight. Y'all done been over here. Now, y'all quit being scared to get on the call-in line. When that number pop up on the screen, I want y'all to act like it's a big old morning show at 6 o'clock in the morning when they be trying to call in and get on Ricky Smiling and stuff. Get on here. On the floor is yours, and come talk to us about some stuff, okay? So keep this all with you as you go through. Always stay with us. Always share the show. Always pour back into the community while we try to pour back into y'all, because that's what we're here for, is to learn and to grow. So we're going to give our parting thoughts, because we got to leave the people with something good. I see that I already loved us up and got us there with that. James, what parting thoughts you got for us?
My parting thoughts are leave Jada Pinkett Smith alone. My parting thoughts. Will Smith is a grown man. He made his decision as a grown man. I'm sure he can stand on them. That man rich. So whatever decision he made, he got the money to back it up and finance whatever come with it. So we can't say that as men, we want men to be protectors and this and that. And then when a man go do the protecting, then you want to jump on the woman for not being the protector of the person that's supposed to protect her.
And choosing way.
No matter what she said after or how she said it, he made that decision. He got to live with it, and the way he was dancing after that, I'm pretty sure he's fine. So those are my parting thoughts. Leave Jada alone, man.
Let her make it. Debbie J, what you got?
I'm gonna just say, take the time to see the positive in your life, and in your day, thankful. As I had entered into my 38th year of life this month, the day before, I literally did a lot of reflecting, and it's not because I wanted to. It's like my subconscious did it, and it's like, damn, you're not where you want to be. I'm not where I want to be in life right now. But when I sat and reflected, and I had a conversation with God, I was like, but you so far from where you started. So I want to be XZ, but I have to go through all the 20 other 5 letters in the alphabet before I get to Z. And it's not on my timing, it's on God's timing. And when you make God the focus, things just start to fall into your lap. So let's not be so worried and so disheartened about where you are in life. Just be glad and thankful that you have another chance and another day to make a positive impact for your future on the day that you are here. So love yourself, continue to put God first, and everything will fall into place, and be good where you are.
Yes. Flex, what you got for us?
Yeah, just real quick as a plug for an event we got coming up. So we're talking about earlier. I see talked about the thrill is more than just sexual intimacy, and one thing is to make sure that we are well-rounded individuals. And with that being said, we got a financial roadshow that's going to help us focus on being more well-rounded individuals. The first day is going to talk about how to build a credible, compliant, and fundable company. Day 2, we're going to learn how to build business credit in your EIN only. And that's important because a lot of times business owners, they're footing it with their own personal credit, and that can cause hiccups. And lastly, how to realize a tax-free living. So this show is free. It's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The information is right here. Reach out to the podcast, me personally, or any of us on here if you want more information on it. But it's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, starting tomorrow from 7 till 8:30 p.m. In the Colony area. So if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, reach out to me. We'll get you information on how to register for this free information.
Yes. Tap in.
I'm registered.
Yes. Debbie, go get the info. All right. I see you got anything else for us?
I do. Actually, I see it's got a play that she's in coming up Mother's Day weekend. It's called The McCormicks, and it's about a mother with 7 daughters, and of course, it's based around being predominant in a community, being the family of the church, because the mother's a minister and all these good things, but there are a lot of secrets and a lot of hurt and all these different things, and so it's relatable. And then of course it's put on by Mother Vanessa Fields Jackson. She deals with domestic violence, so a lot of her plays are geared around that and healing and everything. And so I actually play Paris, which is the younger sister, and I have to kind of tone down because I'm used to being the sister that's always kind of taken up for the other sisters, but I'm kind of lost with how my family dynamics have played out, and I'm just getting informed of a lot of hurt and a lot of family secrets. So it's kind of mind-blowing, but it will be in Texarkana on May the 7th. We'll have 2 shows, one at 3 p.m. and one at 7 p.m. Not really sure if I think there's a dinner that comes with it, but we want everyone to come out. I'll have a flyer by the next show to be able to say a little bit more. But yeah, so that's what IC has going on also. And so hey, come out and be blessed. Bring your mother, your sister, your cousin, and your man if you want to come, child. Just bring everybody. So
hey, floor is yours. We're gonna be there representing.
Yes. Loved it. All right, and as for me, I'm gonna just say, I guess things that I've been focusing on: keep good company. Watch the people that you keep around you and the people that you keep in your circle, because they can rub off on you. You might think that you always doing good for somebody else, but they can rub off on you. Make sure that you are learning new things, because it's always something else out there that can help you grow, perfect, to do better, and love good things. So tap into what you like and what you can build on and what you can do better. And so these are all aspects of life that I am absolutely enjoying right now. I'm loving everybody that's in my corner and in my circle. I'm learning all the new things that I can learn, and I am loving some good things. So my big push that I'm doing right now, and that I would encourage you to do, is to cultivate your mind, your body, and your soul in the most passionate way that you can. Baby, be the best you that you can be, because can't nobody else do you like you can do you. So do it to the fullest. Yes. So that's what Miss Cookie has for y'all. As always, thank y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everybody that shared the show. Make sure, even if it's the end of the show, it don't matter, still share that. We want to see them shares. Get it out there. Tell everybody about us, your mama them, your cousins them, your aunties them, your co-workers them, your haters them, all of them, because they gonna watch you tougher than anybody else do. So make sure that you sharing the show and talking about the show so we can grow, because we want to get all the debates up in here. Not just when I see and James arguing with each other. We want everybody to be in on the debates, y'all. Right. So tap into it. Thank y'all for joining us. Flex, drop the outro.
Oh, David ready to sing.
They the rawest new podcast, who want the smoke? Coming raw and uncut like who want this dope. Whatever you want, they for sure to cover the topic. From racial issues to fashion flies to cockpit. Y'all ain't never get it like this, cause they ain't never did it like this. We on our this the way the cookie crumbles for y'all. She gon' bring the inspiration to all. You know what's up with her. And this shit manifesting is a vision. And y'all gon' love TJ cause he the realest. From the heart of a mob, they the start of it all. You looking for a holler and holler at your rug. The professor, another lesson coming at you with the lessons. Get your edge if you knowin' what's good for you. They educated but they still keep it hood for you. Won't need another, this one here really do it for you.
Baby, the love is yours. Yeah, baby, I'm in love with you. Baby, come down to love is yours. Let me show you how to love is yours.
My kid was messing with me. He had me distracted on my Jumbotron time.
Yeah, you talking about cookie.
Right? I missed it. Thank y'all for joining us. We love y'all.